positive solution.
Yeah.
This sister should use this as an opportunity to say, you know what? Yes, I married a white man,
Yeah.
but we need to realize how America looks at biracial people. We never called, that's what I was going to say earlier, we never called Barack Obama the half white president.
No.
We never spoke to his white side.
No.
Every media pundit, everything political, which politics run this country to a degree, everything was black man. His white side was a goddamn footnote
Yes.
to him being a black man. So if you got 2% of black, if anything about your phenotype says African, you're subject to it. I don't care who your friends are. I don't care where you work, how you do your hair, all that kind of shit. They're going to look at you as a Negro when they need to.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right.
Absolutely.
So final story before we get to a couple of black history facts, which I can't wait for. Brent Favre. Sonia, this guy, the mitigated gall of this white man. So Hall of Fame quarterback Brent Favre filed 3 separate defamation lawsuits on Thursday targeting Mississippi State Auditor Shad White, the guy who got his hand in the cookie jar, Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharp, and national sports commentator Pat McAfee, who I think is like a ex-football kicker.
Yeah.
The lawsuit stems from their comments about Favre's alleged role in the 2020 fraud case after investigators in White's office discovered that $77 million was missing from money allocated to temporary assistance for needy family funds in Mississippi. Favre was among several other defendants named in a state audit and civil lawsuit. According to court documents, the state found that a Mississippi charity that received the TAF money, TANF, TAF money funding, paid him $1.5 million for a speaking engagement that he never did. The former Green Bay Packer quarterback paid the money back. You know what I mean? So he admitted that there was some fraudulent nature in there, and it just keeps getting worse because there's text messages from him stating what needs to happen. The University of Southern Mississippi, Favre's alma mater, received $5 million of that money that went to the Athletic Foundation. Right. So, Sonia, Brent Favre was caught doing with capitalists and Caucasian men in this country, to me, have trained themselves to do. It's almost like business as normal.
As usual.
You take money and then you allocate the shit wherever you want to put it and do whatever you want to do and say it got there however you want to say. Right. It's white privilege at its finest. And him filing this lawsuit because they went on to say, the prosecutors and everything went on to say, hey, man, what are you doing? We caught you, bro. We caught you, bro. So when you see a news story like this, Sonia, what do you think?
Bless your white privilege. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. So the definition, let's get to the root, the meat and potatoes here, like for real. White privilege or white skin privilege, because we also know that there's white privilege where people don't necessarily have to be white, but because of their proximity based on their pheno features in looking white. So white skin privilege is also a form, is a societal privilege that benefits white people over non-white people in some societies, particularly if they are otherwise under the same social, political, or social economic circumstances. Now, I want to take that a step further because not only can we think about how white privilege shows up in places and bless Brett Favre's heart for thinking that he's going to waste the time of the judicial system in Mississippi, because we know that it has single-handedly made sure that white privilege stays embedded in, systemically in, institutionally and structurally within the guise of what this is, right? We are going to uphold white supremacy. And so inherent advantage is possessed by a person who is white or white-skinned, only on the basis of their race.
Yep.
We already know that race is a false construct. It is a made-up, man-made construct. It is not our phenotype. It is not our culture type. It is not our ethnicity. It is not our, I can go on and on, like really and truly. Brett Favre, you didn't piss me off today because not only did you take from folks who are disadvantaged in the state of Mississippi, your ass knew that you was wrong and you gave the money back. So now you mad that somebody talked about it?
Mad that
Boy,
somebody
bye.
talked about it. How dare
Boy,
you, white
bye.
man? You say, you know what? Instead of paying y'all the money back that I owe, I'm gonna spend some money on the lawyers and drain everybody's time.
Yes.
You see? So this is complete bullshit. And this is what happens though, because I removed the athletic part. Like
Right.
if you go back in this man's career, he said a lot of things about black teammates of his.
Yes.
He's been real shiesty. And this is the part of racism that we need to realize. We calling white supremacists to men who just pick up a gun and kill us. But
No.
what about the men that are underhanded?
Yes.
What about the men that smile in your damn face? Then behind your back, you ain't nothing but a nigga. Yeah, we teammates, but you better not come to my house.
Right.
If I see you on my doorstep, I'm calling the cops like anybody else would. You see what I'm saying? Because if he was black, hear me when I say this, everybody. If Brent Favre was black, this motherfucker would have went on an apology tour. Like he would have been on 5 talk shows apologizing. And
he wouldn't have had an opportunity to give the money back because he would have been charged with a crime.
He would have been charged with a crime, got bailed out, and he would have been on TV looking like a sad puppy.
Yes.
I'm sorry I stole it. This is so treacherous. The commentators and everybody involved would have gave him shit. I salute Shannon Sharp, the white guy, Pat McAfee. I salute him. There wasn't a lot of salacious comments about Brett Favre. When this came out on ESPN and other places, they were kind of making light of it, just kind of throwing it out there. I'm like, damn, okay, I get it. But okay, so real quick, everybody listening to me. Mike Vick fought dogs, right?
I was just going to say,
horrible.
How did they drug Mike Vick?
I got dogs. I would never fight him. I think it's brutal, me personally. Right. But $77 million stolen, Mike Vick's life got upended for years. Ruined his life.
A decade at least for him to recover from that incident.
And he's still apologizing.
And he's still every time I open my mouth. I gotta remind y'all that
I'm sorry.
Super sorry.
Am I getting my paycheck still?
Right.
I'm my bad. You see what I'm saying? So the privilege that some of these white folks possess, and we have to call it out because you can always do right.
Yeah.
Like you can do something. This is what America wants you to do. You can do something like that. Apologize. Donate some money to a charity. Donate some money over there. Do some speaking engagement. Smile with the victims. There's a way America has structured people redeeming themselves.
Yeah.
Unless you're white. You ain't got to redeem yourself. You see what I'm saying? So, man, look. This is what he gets. Hopefully the case get thrown out and he got to pay back all that money, or him and his cronies, because it wasn't just him. See, it was a whole group of white folks that probably sat down and said, okay, how can we siphon this money?
Yeah.
Let's do it the old American way. And we got to realize the American way a lot of times is the racist way, and the way that looks at the downtrodden and the impoverished people as a tool that I can use. So Brent Favre is just doing what presidents have done.
Absolutely.
He's just that, and I think a part of him is saying, wait, what I do? He probably calling his lawyer, so you're like, y'all told me this was cool.
Right.
Y'all told me I wasn't going to get in trouble. Michael, fix it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and file a counter lawsuit.
I just want to give people a couple of other ideas so that they can think about how white privilege also manifests. So there's this article that I always refer to. It's from the Yes magazine, Solutions Journalism, and they have a list of 10 examples that prove white privilege exists in every aspect of life imaginable. Number 1, I have privilege of having a positive relationship with the police generally. Number 2, I have the privilege of being favored by school authorities. Number 3, I have the privilege of attending segregated schools of affluence